It's AdaMade, and welcome to another ASMR. This time it's a push workout. I'll be doing shoulder press, triceps, some lateral raises, the Pectoral Fly Machine, and finally we'll do a posture check to see how far we've come. Feel free to sit back, relax, or even follow the workout if you wish to do so. First, let's start off with a warm-up. Let's do some light pull-ups to wake those shoulders up. The shoulder blades. I love to just hang from the bar, as it completely relaxes my entire body, and I can get ready for an absolute destruction of the shoulders and triceps. Let's set up the bench, check the angle, and get ready for the shoulder press. Let's do 3 sets with 1 drop set, and we can kick it off with some light warm-up weights to get those shoulder blades moving. Make sure your wrists are stacked over the elbows, ribs tucked, and glutes placed soft onto the bench. Great job. Here, I've decided to prompt the bench to a more 90-degree angle so that I can target those shoulders even more. Let's up the weight slightly and push. Imagine as if you're pressing the entire world over your head, up into the air, throwing away all the pain, Let's up the weights again and go for our max working set. Ease into this one because you want to go all in. Here, I'm going for absolute failure. Totally finishing off the shoulders to the very last rep and hold. Great job. Now that you're completely finished, let's try to halve the weight and go for a drop set. Here, you're trying to squeeze out the last bit of what the shoulders have. Again, going for absolute failure. Make sure to hold at the top and squeeze out the last bits. Wonderful. Now, let's move on to the triceps cable extensions. Here are a few tips for perfect triceps cable extension form. Make sure your elbows are bent by your ribs, and you can hinge a touch at the hips. Second, make sure to drive the rope to the floor. Rotate slightly to open the rope apart. Let's see it in action. You drive the rope to the floor, and at the end, you rotate out just a touch to get that full range of motion. Slow and controlled reps. You want to squeeze every last bit of the triceps with those half reps. Going all in. Great job. Up the weight slightly as you progress through the exercise. And now, the last rep with as much weight as you can bear. And also this exercise, you want to make sure you fully lock out at the bottom and pause for a second to load as much tension on the triceps as you can. This way, you're giving it room to grow. On the fourth set, I dropped the weight by 50% and fully finish by doing as many reps as I can. Wonderful stuff. And now that the triceps is completely depleted, let's move on to lateral raises. These lateral raises are extremely painful and difficult. They really squeeze out every last bit of energy. You really want to make sure your thumbs are slightly down and the elbows, they lead. I'll try warm-up set. Let's up the weight by a little bit, not too much. Another tip for your lateral raises. You want to raise the dumbbells to the line of your shoulder. Pause at the top and lower slower than what you want. You really want to make sure you're controlling the movement on the way down. Great. Last rep, last set. You really want to make sure you go all in on this one. Squeeze out every last bit of energy. Final tip. You want to make sure your neck is long, ribs quiet, and no swinging. On the final set, let's drop the weight by 50% and squeeze out all we've got. All we've got in the shoulders. Let's put it into this last set. Lift. Hold. And lower the weight. let's give the chest some love with Pectoral Fly Machine. This is my favorite chest exercise because you can really get that maximum stretch. You want to make sure the seat is nice and comfortable, where your hands are in line with the middle of the chest and shoulders and back pockets. Control, focus, and mind and muscle connection. Really feeling the chest burn in the middle. Great job. For the second set, let's up the weight by a little bit. So we push the chest to its limits. Just hug the pads with the inside of your elbows. Chest leads, not the biceps. And you meet in the middle. In the middle, you go for a soft pause. And on the way back, slow open without letting the shoulders roll. What a great set this was. Feel free to take a longer break so the chest can fully recover before the last. Get ready to squeeze out the last bit of energy. I know it's difficult, but keep in mind, this is what grows that muscle. Squeezing out, even when you can't, you fight for it. You fight. When you can't, let's drop the weight again and continue to squeeze out. Pause in the middle and fully stretch and open up the wings on the way back. Make sure the chest gets wide and open. fantastic. Now let's fully rest before the last exercise. And finally, let's bring it back to the triceps and give them some love with the skull crushers. Let's make sure we have the right setup first for maximum range of motion and comfort. You can use the dumbbells or the barbell, but I like to go with the easy bar as I can grip onto it with the most comfort and control. Let's do 4 sets, starting off with the warm-up. Semi-heavyweight, bringing it all the way to the skull and extending the triceps at the top. Great stuff. Now that we are warmed up, we can up the weight a little bit, or even keep it. You want to make sure that the triceps, they carry tension. You can achieve this by keeping the upper arms angled at 30 degrees, and you squeeze it at the top. Great stuff. Let's catch a breather. Up the weight for the final set, or at least final working set. Lower the bar to just behind the ground. Elbows narrow. Forearms move. And upper arms stay. Focus on the triceps. Keep him in mind and connect with him through your mind. Great job. Let's relax. Drop the weight and go for the last set. Here, I've decided to keep the weight actually. And do my last working set, because I've only done 2 triceps exercises. And usually I go for 3. That's why I'm going fully all in on this last one. You want to squeeze the every last bit. There is left in the triceps. Great job. You've done it. And now, after all that hard work, let's check the progress with the posture check. Let's see the improvement we made in the triceps, shoulders, and the chest. Really achieving that massive upper body bump. I think this is my favorite pose for the triceps. I can really get the full picture through the sides as I lean on my right foot and fully squeeze the triceps, giving it maximum energy and effort. The hard work has really paid off. Great job. Let's do it again next time.